In the heart of Eloria, a bustling city nestled amidst the towering mountains and lush forests of the kingdom of Arcana, a young warrior named Sato raced through the crowded streets. His hand never strayed far from the hilt of his enchanted sword, Aiko, a precious heirloom passed down from his late mother, a renowned shepherd who had given her life defending the innocent from the darkness that threatened their world. Sato's childhood friend Kira fell into step beside her, her fiery red hair bouncing with each stride. "Hey, Sato," she called out, her green eyes sparkling with mischief. "Ready for the big tournament?" Sato grinned, his heart swelling with anticipation. "You know it, Kira. I've been training hard to master my shadow manipulation Anima. I can't wait to show everyone what I can do." Kira smiled, her own excitement palpable. "And I can't wait to see the looks on their faces when they see my pyrokinesis in action. We're going to take the tournament by storm." As they bantered, Sato's thoughts drifted to the challenges that lay ahead. The tournament was a chance for young shepherds like himself to prove their worth, to show that they had what it took to defend Arcana from the monstrous threats that lurked in the shadows. But it was also an opportunity to catch the eye of the royal family, to perhaps earn a place among the elite guards who protected the kingdom's rulers. Sato's musings were interrupted by a sudden piercing scream coming from a nearby alleyway. The sound was filled with pure, unadulterated terror, and it sent a chill down his spine. "Trouble," he said, his voice grim. "Let's go, Kira." As they raced towards the alley, Sato reached out with his Anima, feeling the shadows around him respond to his silent command.
I love you.
He had discovered his power at a young age, and under the guidance of his mother and the Shepherd Guild's masters, he had honed it into a formidable weapon. In the alley, they found a group of thugs standing over the bloodied remains of a young girl, her once bright eyes staring sightlessly at the sky. The leader of the thugs, a brute with a face like a shattered mirror, sneered at Sato and Kira. Well, looks like we've got ourselves a couple of baby shepherds." Sato's eyes blazed with fury, and he felt the shadows around him surge with power, responding to his anger. "You monsters," he snarled. "You'll pay for what you've done." The thugs laughed, unaware of the danger they were in. Sato let his Anima flow through him, and the shadows at his feet exploded outward, engulfing the thugs in a whirlwind of darkness. They screamed in terror, their weapons falling from nerveless fingers as they clawed at their eyes, trying to fight off the impenetrable gloom. Kira was quick to seize the advantage. With a flick of her wrist, she sent a wave of flames cascading towards the thugs, the hungry fire eagerly devouring their flesh. The stench of burning meat filled the air, mingling with the coppery tang of blood. In a matter of moments, the alley was silent once more. The only sound the crackling of Kira's flames and the labored breathing of the two young shepherds. But their respite was short-lived. A blood-curdling roar echoed through the alley, and Sato and Kira turned to see a hulking monstrosity lumbering towards them, its body a twisted mass of writhing tentacles and pulsating, sickly green flesh. "Eldritch Horror," Kira breathed, her flames flickering in response to her. "I thought they were just legends." Sato gripped Aiko tighter, his Anima surging through him in preparation for the fight to come. "Legends or not, we have to take it down. Let's show this beast what a shepherd's Anima can do." Together, they launched themselves into horror, their powers blazing and gloom. Sato wove shadows around himself like a cloak, using them to evade the creature's grasping tentacles, to strike and Kira's flames danced around him, forming a searing barrier that repelled the horror's attacks and seared its flesh with every touch. But the horror was a formidable foe, its strength and regenerative abilities beyond anything they'd ever faced. Every time they seemed to gain the upper hand, the creature would lash out with renewed fury, its tentacles smashing through buildings and sending debris flying in all directions. As the battle raged on, Sato began to feel the toll of using his Anima so extensively. His vision blurred, and his limbs grew heavy with exhaustion. Beside him, Kira was also struggling, her flames dimming as her energy waned. Just when all seemed lost, a brilliant bolt of lightning arced through the sky, striking the horror directly in its pulsating heart. The creature let out a deafening shriek, its body convulsing as electricity coursed through its twisted flesh. Sato and Kira turned, their eyes widening in awe as they beheld the figure standing at the entrance of the alley. It was a young man, tall and lean, with silver hair that glowed like starlight. In his hand, he held a long, slender blade that crackled with barely contained power. "Stand back," the newcomer said, his voice calm and commanding. "I'll handle this." With a speed that defied belief, the silver-haired warrior leaped into the fray, his blade flashing as he danced around the horror's flailing tentacles. Every strike sent a burst of lightning through the creature's body, causing it to howl in agony. Sato and Kira could only watch in amazement as the warrior single-handedly brought the horror to its knees, his mastery of his lightning anima clear for all to see. With a final, devastating strike, he cleaved the creature in two, its remains dissolving into a putrid puddle of ichor. As the warrior sheathed his blade, Sato and Kira approached him, their faces filled with gratitude and awe. "Thank you," Sato said, his voice hoarse with exhaustion. "We wouldn't have survived without your help." The warrior regarded them with cool, appraising eyes. "You fought bravely," he said, his tone neutral, "but you still have much to learn if you hope to stand against the darkness that threatens our kingdom." With that, he turned and strode out of the alley, leaving Sato and Kira to ponder his words. As they made their way back to the Shepherd Guild, Sato's mind raced with questions. Who was the mysterious warrior, and what did he know about the threats facing Arcana? What other horrors lurked in the shadows, waiting to prey on the innocent? One thing was certain, Sato's journey as a shepherd was only just beginning. With Kira by his side and Aiko in his hand, he would face whatever challenges lay ahead, growing stronger and more skilled with each battle. For he was Sato, the Shadow Shepherd, and his legend was only just beginning to unfold. As they approached the guild hall, Sato spotted a familiar figure waiting for them at the entrance. It was Ren, the guild's spymaster, his face etched with worry. "Sato, Kira," Ren called out, his voice urgent. "Thank the gods you're safe. I have grave news. The princess has been kidnapped, and the king suspects that the Crimson Raven Guild is behind it." Sato's heart skipped a beat at the mention of the princess. Aria was not only the heir to the throne, but also a skilled warrior in her own right, with a rare and powerful anima that allowed her to control the very fabric of reality. If the Crimson Ravens had taken her, it could only mean one thing. They were planning something big, something that threatened the very foundations of Arcana. Sato exchanged a glance with Kira, his jaw set with determination. "Tell us everything," he said, his voice steady despite the fear churning in his gut. "We'll find the princess and bring her back, no matter what it takes." As Ren began to fill them in on the details, Sato couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning of a much larger, much more dangerous adventure. But with his friends by his side and his anima growing stronger every day, he knew that he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. For he was a shepherd, a guardian of the light, and he would stop at nothing to protect the people of Arcana from the darkness that threatened to engulf them all.